the people are so different. Yeah, it's not like, it's also the same for Chinese. Chinese are like, China really big country, and we have 56 like identical groups. Like I'm from Han, and there are also others, and we also have different culture from different province, and the people from north and people from south, east, and west. People are so different. For example, people will say, "Oh, you're Chinese, you must eat dogs." It's a fucking no. No one really eats dogs. There are some people like traditionally they have this culture to eat dogs, but not every single Chinese people will choose eat dogs. There are also people in China, they have this group to protect dogs, you know.
Yeah.
And in Korean, they also have this culture. So for me, when people ask this question, I just feel like, oh my God, it's just like a stereotype. Yeah.
Of course, it's a stereotype, but coming as from a vegetarian, I think all animal murder is wrong. So I don't see a dog being particularly worse than a cow.
Yeah, that is. But I think there are also other things to discuss, you know. When we just see things, it's like black and white. Sometimes you don't leave in the room to make a discussion because it's just go really radical. But the life is much complicated than this. Like there are a lot of gray area. Like I like animals. I was there was a protest here, like the girls talk about like the animal rights, and I watched the video. It was terrible, like how they do the animal industries. And then they just told me, you do you love animal? I say yes. So you have to be vegan. There is something for me. There is something not goes wrong, but I just feel weird. Like I feel like I was, because you are entitled of this, you can't completely do that. But it's not that simple, because there are also other industries. There are also other people to need to live. Like yeah, we may have different opinions, and I think it's all right. But also think about this. Not everybody, as Western people, as you, as a British people, have this a lot of privilege in your life. There are a lot of people in the world, they don't have this privilege. Even for me, I think I was quite privileged to have a chance to study here. Yeah.
I understand about the privilege. I acknowledge that I am privileged. I'm privileged to have the passport that I do, for example, and I've worked hard for the opportunities that I have, for sure. But I understand that I have privilege to some extent. But I do agree with them. And the first person who really made me start thinking about veganism and stopping animal consumption, I will clarify, I still think that I'm a hypocrite being a vegetarian. I know that I'm still consuming animal products, and I think this is wrong. And I know that I have a long way to go personally, but I do think that we can't say that we love and care for animals if you still eat them. I do fundamentally believe that. And the first person who made me think about this, my friend from Chile, she's been vegan now for going on 16, 17 years. And in Chile, that much time ago, it was very difficult to be, you know? And she made me think that we consider ourselves to be the most dominant and conscious species on this planet. Yeah. And the way that we choose to treat animals and the species that we consider to be less dominant and less conscious is to enslave them. We treat them as slaves at the end of the day. Fundamentally, whether we want to admit it
Not
or not.
just treat animals as slaves. People also treat people as slaves.
I know, but explaining the animal trade and the animal industry as continued slave trade. I know real slavery, well, I know slavery with people still exists as well, but the animal trade 100% is slavery.
Yeah, I think for this topic we can have a lot of different opinions here, and there are a lot of room for discussion. Yeah, for me, my personally choice is like, okay, because before I really don't have any knowledge about this, and I also don't have any knowledge about like environment protest, like there are climate change. It's really opened my mind when I was in Australia, and they were educated. Okay, the marine life, there are a lot of things died, and also there are a lot of species just disappeared in the past years. But I I won't do something because everybody told me, oh, this is wrong. You just can't do that. If I don't feel it, I just don't do it. But I do feel like, at least for as a non-vegetarian people, a person, I will try to like reduce the consumption from my side to eat meat or eat other product. Yeah, yeah, but I won't force myself, like I won't blame myself. So, okay, today you eat meat, you're a piece of shit. I won't do that. And I also won't like to like accuse other people for this. I think it's a personal choice.
100% is a personal choice. I don't think that it's so important about condemning others. I think it is something that we have to realize by ourselves. We have to understand the other side. I the first few vegans I met, it was very. I realized like it's actually they don't talk about it all the time. Most vegans won't tell you the straight away, oh, I'm vegan. It normally comes up in conversation more naturally. Maybe you're going somewhere to eat, or you're just talking, you make a comment about animals or something, and it comes up naturally. I think this was a big misconception that I had, because in the UK, still there aren't so many vegetarians and vegans. Most of them I met in Australia, the ones that I know. And I remember one conversation with a girl. I was like, well, don't try and convince me. And she said, I'm not going to try and convince you, because I can tell when people are willing to have that conversation and willing to start to think about it more. And it is something that people have to realize by themselves. I think I was a bit forceful when I went back to the UK with my family. I thought I was just trying to make them see the light, but in the end, maybe I was a bit too forceful. I think they did start to think more, and I think they make better choices now, but it's not fully my place to say all of those things. Those people have to make those decisions themselves, find out the information for themselves.